Today's horoscope, Aquarius August 24th, 2024. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. It's a good idea to avoid living too much in the head today when relating to others. The tendency is to separate from your feelings when connecting or communicating, which can lead to some confusion or mixed messages. Nevertheless, your stronger desires and passions are stirring, especially through your exchanges and conversations. There can be extra sizzle in a love relationship or your creative world. You have more persuasive power and verbal punch, so be careful with that. You might receive some news about a social event or close relationship, and the emphasis is on looking at the past differently. You might also enjoy a complicated but illuminating conversation with or about a partner. Romance will be like a fire in the heart or like you're touching hot coals. Sweet Venus, our goddess planet of love, attraction, and romance, is spinning in your solar house of intimacy and sexuality. She will clash with mighty Mars, the red planet of sex and aggression, now in your solar house of dating. This ensures that if you and your sweetheart are on steady ground, you'll have an exhilarating period of ecstasy that fills you both with joy. However, if you're not, you could soon be breaking up. Do not make a hasty decision. Your professional commitments are subject to change thanks to Mercury retrograde. All of the potential changes might be a lot to consider. Take your time going over each option, since Mercury retrograde in Leo will trine Chiron retrograde in Aries. There is no need to rush a major decision regarding your contracts, responsibilities, or partnerships. Better yet, do not let any of your colleagues pressure you into a decision either. It is okay to take your time since so much could change following this retrograde period. Balance is difficult to achieve when you feel distracted. It is important to choose the food and the kind of exercise that is right for you. As an individual that depends on balance, you might do well learning some meditation practice. No matter how big or how small the practice, it will aid you tremendously. Some aspects of yoga involve meditation, and you can find online classes or tutorials that fit your needs. A more expanded technique is transcendental meditation. Today you should meet someone or be in union or collaboration. But if the situation isn't conducive for this, a breakup which is related to your past could be in the air. In reality, everything will depend on your situation. If it is good, it will only be better. If it is bad, you could be the person who makes things deteriorate. Be careful despite everything, to preserve those close to you from a possible crisis. Having the moon in your communication sector as the sun leaves your relationship sector provides a significant advantage today. The moon's return yesterday not only restored harmony shortly after a full moon had created tension between you and your relationships, but it also gave you a clearer understanding of what you want from these relationships and what they need from you. Now, the moon is facilitating open dialogue about issues brought to light earlier in the week, just as Mercury takes over from the sun to ensure that lines of communication remain open. With the moon not only in your communication sector as the sun leaves your relationship sector today, but as he hands the reins over to Mercury, the planet of communication, this adds to what was already a positive day for giving words the power to heal. The moon is here as a friendly aspect between Mercury on the relationship and Chiron on the communication fronts peaks, and with both in retrograde motion, as the planets of communication and healing have come together to give the past and unsaid words a voice. Daily Planetary Overview. Why beat a dead horse, right? Sometimes, revisiting old wounds can feel like a necessary step, but today, the universe is encouraging you to take a different path. With Mercury retrograde in Leo trining Chiron retrograde in Aries, there's a gentle nudge to resist the urge to go back in time. While the temptation to reopen old issues might be strong, you might find that there's little to gain from it. Instead, why not shift your focus towards the future? There's so much good on the horizon, and by looking forward instead of backward, you open yourself up to receiving the positivity that's coming your way. Have you ever noticed that when you dwell too much on past hurts, it can prevent you from moving forward? It's like carrying a heavy backpack filled with things you no longer need. Today, you have the opportunity to lighten that load. By letting go of the past, you make room for new opportunities, experiences, and connections that are more aligned with who you are now. This isn't about forgetting what's happened, but rather choosing to focus on the good that's ahead. Now, today's energy also brings a sense of clarity, especially in your emotional world. You might feel particularly sensitive and more in tune with your desires. Use this clarity to bring a little more rationality to your relationships. It's a great time to strengthen the connections that matter most to you. Have you been feeling the pull to nurture certain friendships or partnerships? This is your moment to invest in those bonds. At the same time, it might also be the right time to gently let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Doing so with sensitivity and understanding is the best approach for everyone involved. Have you ever had to part ways with someone, not out of anger, but because you both had grown in different directions? Those moments can be bittersweet, but they also pave the way for growth and new connections. On the other hand, with all this emotional clarity, you might feel a strong desire to go after what you want, no matter what. And while that determination is admirable, it's important to keep things in balance. Be mindful of your actions, and try to avoid getting swept up in impulses that could lead to awkward or disagreeable situations. It's easy to stray from a sensible path into more destructive ways, whether that's indulging in excessive behavior with food, shopping, or even in your love life. We've all been there, right? Those moments when we think, why not, only to realize later that we might have gone a little overboard. If you find that things have come to a halt or aren't progressing the way you'd planned, don't get discouraged. Sometimes, the universe throws a curveball, and while you might not have bargained for a change of course, it doesn't mean all is lost. Instead of wasting all your energy trying to push through an obstacle, consider taking a detour. It might take a bit longer to reach your goal, but that detour could offer valuable experiences you wouldn't have encountered otherwise. Have you ever found yourself on an unexpected path that ended up being better than what you'd originally planned? Life has a funny way of working out like that sometimes. And if finances are on your mind, today's energy is perfect for settling outstanding financial matters. Whether you're tackling debts, budgeting, or considering larger purchases, your instincts are sharp right now. You're in a good place to make sensible investments, and the advice you receive is likely to be more conclusive than usual. Maybe you're thinking about making a big purchase, a car, a home, or something else significant. Trust yourself and the process. You've got this. I'd love to hear from you. How are you navigating this moment of letting go and moving forward? Have you recently made decisions to strengthen certain relationships or part ways with others? And what about your financial goals? Are you feeling that clarity to make smart choices for your future? Let's share our experiences and support each other as we embrace the good that's ahead. Together, we can move forward with grace, confidence, and a clear vision for what's next.